Cedar Point is doing it again. They are about to shake the entire amusement park industry as we know it. What do I mean by that? Make sure you watch this entire video to find out. My name is Coaster Freak Jr. and welcome back to another top Thrill Dragster speculation and rumor video. If you did not know already, there has been a heavy construction presence surrounding top Thrill Dragster, which has involved a crane and lots of construction workers constantly working on top Thrill Dragster even during the operation hours. Basically what that means is that Cedar Point is fast at work when it comes to removing top Thrill Dragster's track. Now obviously we have been speculating that pretty much top Thrill Dragster is more than likely going to get a new launching system. So obviously to implement that new launching system you have to remove the launch track. But what we did not expect Cedar Point to do is remove the track behind the station. Yes, the track that is after the brake run. When you come back into the station, they have been removing that track. Actually that track is already fully gone, which has opened a totally new door of possibilities of things that Cedar Point could be doing to top Thrill Dragster. So basically we have to look at our options and consider all the possibilities of what Cedar Point's next move with top Thrill Dragster can be, and I have three main possibilities, or I guess you could say speculations obviously, of what I think could happen next with Cedar Point. One of the possibilities being, okay, well, they're tearing down the track behind the station and the launch track and the brake track because they're going to tear down top Thrill Dragster as a whole, and they could also possibly be selling top Thrill Dragster to another amusement park, which would actually make up for financial losses due to the pandemic. Now the problem that I have with this possibility is that it's too expensive and costly for Cedar Point to tear down top Thrill Dragster. Even if they did sell it to another amusement park, they would net a profit from doing so, but obviously that would not go over well with the coaster enthusiasts and the general public, and honestly that profit from tearing it down and the expenses going into it would not be that great after you sell it. And lastly, this does not line up with the wording from Cedar Point that when they retired top Thrill Dragster, they said that top Thrill Dragster as you know it is retiring, but they will be reimagining it. So if you're reimagining it, obviously you're not going to tear it down. This brings me to the second possibility, which is top Thrill Dragster is going to get a new launching system in addition to a full retrack. Now this possibility again falls underneath the category of just not making a lot of sense from a financial standpoint, because one, there's nothing wrong with top Thrill Dragster's layout as it is as far as smoothness of the track goes, so you don't need to retrack it. All you would have to do is install the launch track, which they have already started removing that. So again, it doesn't make sense to remove the track behind the station, and why would you need to fully retrack something that did not have a problem to begin with? The track of top Thrill Dragster was not the problem. So that basically leaves us with two more possibilities here. Possibility number three being that Cedar Point is going to move top Thrill Dragster station, redo the station, and push it back more. And I actually have some evidence right here on the screen of them possibly rerouting the queue further back and closer to Iron Dragon. And that kind of makes sense because if you have the new LSM system, as we talked about in the past, with the distance and everything from Cedar Point, you might want to do a rolling launch. You might want to get a little bit more creative, since the LSM launch system would not be as strong as a hydraulic launch system. So pushing the station back and giving yourself a little bit more launch track does actually make sense. Now, is that what is going on here and why Cedar Point is doing what they're doing? I honestly do not think so. So that brings me to my fourth and final possibility, my most bold prediction of the video, the reason why you guys clicked on this video in the first place. I think that Cedar Point is going to add a swing launch on top Thrill Dragster with a backwards twisting spike to pay homage to Wicked Twister, and they're going to make it 500 feet tall and reclaim the world's tallest roller coaster. And not only would this be the world's tallest roller coaster, it would be the world's tallest inverting roller coaster. Real quick guys, I just want to actually pause and let you guys know that I actually made a mistake. A twisted spike does not count as an inversion, so it would not be an inverting roller coaster, which I do clarify that at the end of the video. They would also extend the final drop on the top hat, which would make the world's largest drop on a roller coaster and the world's tallest LSM launch roller coaster. I just named 4 excuse me, 5 different records that Cedar Point could break if they decided to make this happen. Also, did I mention that this would be the first roller coaster over 500 feet? Now, doesn't that sound like something that Cedar Point would definitely do? That sounds right up Cedar Point's alley. Now, as far as this being possible, this is definitely a lot more possible and feasible option than our original speculation video on Thrill Dragster, where we mentioned extending the top hat. That is not impossible, but very challenging from an engineering standpoint and from a cost standpoint. But this is not as challenging. This is not as it will probably be about around the same expenses, but it does not have the engineering challenges that extending the top hat would. Now, another thing, let's be honest. At the rate that Cedar Point is removing Thrill Dragster's track, something is going to happen. We don't know what it is, if it's going to be a swing launch, if it's going to just be an LSM launch. We do not know yet. This is all speculation, but whatever it is, it has to be opening in 2023. Because why would you be kicking it into high gear about getting Thrill Dragster's project reimagining process done this quickly? They didn't even wait to the off season. They're doing it right now as I make this video. They are removing Thrill Dragster's track. Let that sink in for a second. They are going to open the new version of Thrill Dragster, whatever it's going to be called. It's opening in 2023. Usually, Cedar Point opens a new roller coaster and spends 10, 15, 20 million dollars on it every 4 to 5 years. So if they're going to spend this much money on Thrill Dragster's reimagining process, their budget for the roller coaster that would have been in 2024 is no longer a thing. They've taken that money and put it towards this Thrill Dragster project, which is why I definitely could see them spending 5, 10, maybe even $15 million on this reimagining process. And that's why I'm saying a backwards vertical spike with a swing launch makes total sense financially, because that would be within the budget and it would not be impossible to do. The swing launches around the world are absolute phenomenon right now in the amusement park industry, and Cedar Point loves to have the newest, latest, and greatest trends. They do, as far as roller coasters are concerned. As far as thrill rides and family rides, we're not gonna talk about that, okay? But I'm telling you, as I said in my previous video, opening the Thrill Dragster and marketing it with those 4 world records, maybe you could add a 5th or 6th one, I'm not 100% sure, but definitely those 4 records that I just named, and you open that with the Wild Mouse roller coaster, and you open that with the new pavilion on the pier over there. Like, come on, man, that is just a freaking, it's a marketing masterpiece. It's genius. You cannot deny that would be 2023 would be one of the best years in recent history for Cedar Point, not only from a guest experience, but from a park revenue. Now, of course, I want to back this up with a little bit more facts than just speculation here, so let's look at Thrill Dragster's plot of land for a quick second. Now, as you see here, I have put up Cedar Point on Google Earth, and you can see a good view of Thrill Dragster. Now, looking at this at first glance, you're probably like, Coaster Freak Jr., we see why they call you Junior, because you're not that smart. There's no room for a vertical spike behind Thrill Dragster because you got Iron Dragon right there. You gotta remove it. You gotta remove it. Now listen, calm down. Let me explain, okay? There is enough room, but I'm not crazy, because if you look right here, I've highlighted it in red. That is all the space they have to work with to build a twisted vertical spike in the back of Thrill Dragster. And as you see, the reason why I did cut off some of the station of Thrill Dragster is because they can actually tweak that so that it can actually launch out of the vertical spike a lot earlier than later. So I mean, come on, it's a spike, it's vertical, it goes straight up. I don't understand why people are saying that Iron Dragon would have to be removed. There's so much space. You could even remove the photo booth. I don't know what it's called, the photo booth, the photo station, the ride photo, basically the picture that you get taken while you're on the ride. You can move that. You can honestly, I have a video coming out on speculation about the midway. I think they're going to end up redoing the whole entire midway right here, but that's a discussion for another video. But as far as this area right here is, you can move that building or you can leave it there, because you really don't have to touch that building, because look at that. It doesn't look like much, but guys, remember, Wicked Twister did not take up that much space. Wicked Twister spikes do not take up that much space. Go on YouTube or go on Google and search up vertical spikes on roller coasters. They do not take up that much large of a footprint. And like I said, if you shorten the station or push it forward a little bit, you can actually start going into that vertical spike a lot sooner. So you wouldn't even have to use up this whole entire rectangle that I have cut out for you guys. But if that is still not enough for you guys to believe me, let me go ahead and show you a video of what this actual layout for Top Thrill Dragster would look like. So I'm gonna let you guys watch through this, and then we're gonna play it back and talk about some of the key features of this design, because the person who made this did an absolutely amazing job. As you see here, that would be the 500-foot vertical spike in reverse. You go back to the station and you hit into that LSM launch. Look at that beautiful design. You probably get some nice ejected airtime coming off of that little bunny hill as well. Here's another angle and a viewpoint of that vertical spike going backwards. Twisted vertical spike, I should say. And as you see, they have Cedar Point designed in the surrounding areas, and it fits there. It fits in the layout, guys. But let's focus more on this part right here. As you see, everything that we talked about in the past, you have the LSM launch magnets going up part of the top hat tower, and then you come back down, and then that sweet old Top Thrill Dragster as we know it. And as you see here, this is what the POV of it would look like. You're going up. The swing launch, you would start off with the LSMs, again going up part of the top hat. We talked about that in the previous speculation videos. El Toro Ryan made a great point about how that would be possible, and a great idea actually to help you get over that top hat. Then you would go backwards, you would experience that launch in reverse. You guys should already know how swing launches work, and then boom, look at that. Look how quickly that transition from being in the station to the vertical spike. It was not that big of a space. Look at the design. Like, of course, this is not going to be copy and paste directly from this concept to actual Cedar Point, but it's possible. It's literally possible. Now, the only thing that this design did not feature was a deeper drop that would go all the way to the ground to claim that world's largest drop on a roller coaster, but you know, that's still possible. So it's not included in this design, but I definitely think that's still a possibility. Now, I also want to talk about one more thing from this video. That's this aerial view of this concept right here. Looking at this aerial view, first of all, it's a beautiful concept. It's just absolutely amazing. But as you start seeing, as we turn here, we're gonna count to 3 because it's taking a while. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You see the beautiful concept in its full totality. Boom, look at that amazing twisted spike, and look, it does not take up that much space. It does not take up that much space, and it's 500 feet. As you can see, it's actually taller than the 420-foot top hat. But guys, this is a beautiful concept. Make sure you go check their channel out and subscribe, drop a like on their video, because they did a phenomenal job. Now let's recap everything we went over one more time, okay? Top Thrill Dragster, we're predicting that it's going to get a swing launch, 500-foot vertical spike, twisted, reverse vertical spike, twisted, 500 foot, world's tallest roller coaster, extended drop, world's largest drop on a roller coaster, world's tallest LSM roller coaster, world's largest inverting roller coaster. Now, actually, I want to say I might have made a mistake early in the video. I do not think that twisted spikes do not count as an inversion, so that's my fault. I do apologize for that, guys. So that would not count as a world record, but still, that's 3 world records right there. Largest drop, tallest LSM, and 500 feet. So that's my speculation. Of course, I'm going to stick with the space theme as well, because I think space theme would be an absolute amazing and great idea to have for this new and improved reimagined Top Thrill Dragster. We'll have to see again what the theme goes with, but let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with the speculation and my predictions, because some of you guys were suggesting and speculating that Top Thrill Dragster may get a swing launch, and at the time we were all like, nah, no way. But look at us now. Look at us now. Look how quickly things change, because you never know what Cedar Point is doing, because who knows, we all could be wrong, and Cedar Point could be sitting there in that room around that round table. Everybody got their feet kicked up, kicked back and relaxed, sipping on some wine, just laughing at us because our predictions and speculation could be totally off. But it's your boy, your Coaster Freak Jr., and I'm gonna see you in the next video. I'm out. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.